Welcome back, Simple Homeowners. Today we're going to try another project. I'm going to hang a TV on the wall in my living room. It's a smaller TV, it's a 43-inch, and let me show you what I have going on here. So what I'm going to try to do is hang this TV, and I'm going to use this mount. This is a Walmart mount, and it says it's for a 32 to 86-inch TV. I've used these before. They're really very inexpensive, but they're also no frills. This one's going to mount just right up against the wall flat, and I'll show you how that's going to look. So what I'm trying to do is put it on this wall here. So right now I have a 32-inch TV sitting here, and it's for my stereo information, where if I pull Pandora, Spotify, whatever up, I like to see exactly what it is. So I wanted something a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is remove this TV and hang the 42-inch right in here. The good thing about this mount that we're gonna, situation that we're gonna use here, it doesn't have to be dead accurate. So we're just gonna wing it. I'm gonna try to find some studs along the wall to mount it into. If that doesn't work, I do have some other toggle bolts that are fantastic. I've used them before. I'll show you those that go into drywall and can hold up some fairly good weight. These new modern TVs, they're very light. I want to say this thing's like 13 pounds, and that's it. So it should be very simple install, famous last words. So let's see how it goes. As I begin to prepare to hang this on the wall, you have to have your brackets on the back of your TV. This one, they gave me only 2 screws that fit this, two links. They gave me other screws, but they were too big. So this is the one I end up using because I didn't have another one that was shorter. So they give you this one, but this one's too short. So this one is too long, but they do give you these spacers. They're just plastic. And you can see they're just spacers. So this is the first part of prepping this. And I do want to let you know also, I am not a professional. I am just a simple homeowner that trying to save some money by hanging this. I feel comfortable doing this because I've done it in the past. And these modern TVs are so light now that I feel very comfortable putting it into drywall, although I will try to find a stud. But our first part, I've already got this one anchored down fairly good. This is the bottom of the TV, so you're looking at the back of it. So when it goes to hang on the wall, it'll come up like that. And as you can see, there's hooks here in the plate. It'll hang on like that underneath that, and then it'll hook here. I'll show you that a little bit more details later. So I've got the one mounted already. I just wanted to show you how I'm going to do this one. And I've decided that I want these lower because it gives a little bit more strength, I feel. They come down lower. So we'll do it here. And what I'm doing is just putting the spacer in there. And then, unfortunately, I have to use another spacer. I put that on top. I use a flat washer here. I'm using the flat washer, then I just screw it into the hole that's the mounting bracket hole that's on the TV itself. And I always use, I won't use a power drill, I always use a hand tool to do these. So let me do this other one, and then we'll move on to the next step, show you how it's going. So I've got everything screwed in tight, and this is what the mount looks like because this part goes to the wall. There's, I'll show you when I take it off, but there's a level here, so when you hang it on the wall, it'll be level. So the hardest part on hanging these TVs is to know where the top of your TV is going to be. So I know on my wall where I would like the top of the TV to be. I want it to be right here, somewhere around here. Again, I'm not real picky about it, but I know I don't want the bottom of it to come any lower than this. So they give you a template, and it's exactly like what I was just showing you. So I know when the TV's hanging on this, because I've measured, that about 10 3/4, if this is right here, 10 3/4 up is where the top of the TV will be. And I've made it to where it's just right about there. So I'll be pretty happy with that, if that works out right. So I have my laser level just to help give me some ideas. This is not perfectly centered, but I want it to be somewhat centered for this. Again, everything is adjustable. And this might have to, I know the height, so I'm happy with the height, so I'll keep that. But lateral, left and right, depends on where the studs are. So I want to try to find that, because you have a little bit of play in here. When you hang the TV, you can adjust it back and forth. So I'll show you that. I've gotten a little ahead of myself on that. But let's move on next to actually hanging the mounting plate and finding the studs. So to find the studs, I'm just going to use this simple stud finder. Now I know where to start would be, so I have a receptacle here. So one is either going to be on this side, or the 2x4 is going to be on this side. So I have a pretty good idea. And from somewhere around here over 16 inches is where normally studs are. So there should be another one over here. So let's just, I'm going to start on the outside of the plug. And just swing it by. You'll see it jump around a little bit. Okay, we're getting close. So it's thinking it's right about here. I go extra. So looks like it might be right about here. And that's about right because my receptacle is down here. So now what I need is from here to here, 16 inches. So let's test that. And again, I'm going to start, well, I'll start here. Okay, we'll go. We're going. Okay, I see it's starting to come up, so it looks like it says there's something there. So back up a little bit. Just try to get it the best I can. So it looks like it's right about here. So now I'll get my tape measure and I'll do that. And then the next thing to verify, I'm gonna get a small drill bit. I'll screw in to make sure that in fact is stud. So let's try that next. Measure it and go from there. So let's do 16. So it looks like there. So that is very close. That's 16 inches. So it could be, I just want to make sure I have it exactly right. So let's get a drill bit and test that theory out. So I just have a small drill. Let's try it here. Definitely one there. It's either that or I'm drilling into the HVAC. And if I feel cold air coming out of the hole, I'll know. Yep, another one there. So the next thing we need to do is take this down. I might just mark it a little bit so I'll make sure the other one is on there. We'll level it up and we'll be good to go on mounting. These are the bolts that they give you to mount this bracket on the wall. They're pretty good size. I want to say 12 millimeter, something of that nature, but pretty good size. They say it'll hold up to, this bracket will hold up to 120 pounds, but we don't need anything like that. We just need 13 pounds. Of course, we want a little extra in case I want to swing on it, but here we go. Let's try to hang this up and go from there. So I've marked it on the wall where it should be. And then this thing has a built-in level also. And looking at that, it is pretty much right on the money. So let's see if we can get something started here. And this thing's going to make a ridiculous amount of noise, but that's what we like. And I give it a little bit so I can, if it comes down or not, I have a little bit of wiggle room, like that. So bring this edge back up. I have it right in the center, and also I have my mark where supposedly stud is. So let's see what happens. I'll try to get a little hand started first. Perfect, right on the money. Okay, here we go. Hold your ears. You want to try not to put it so tight that it brings the drywall out. I've done that in the past and it was horrible. I mean, it was okay, but I just want to make sure that we're good. Okay, so they give you 4 bolts. So let's try the one on top here. So that definitely has got our anchor down. And we'll do the last bolt. And then we're to the point where we can actually hang the TV. So we're getting close. So I've got it on here. It's on there really well. Hopefully it'll come off when I'm done. But we wanted the top of our TV up here. So that was about 10 3/4. So I'm gonna come down to 10 3/4, right about there. So we're really close. And like I was saying before, it doesn't have to be perfect. We can put the TV on there, it can slide a little bit. I can even move this more if we are too worried about it. I just didn't want the TV to come out over here too far. So technically it should be right around here. This should be the bottom of the TV. So let's mount it. And the good thing this thing has a level in it, because I'm looking at it and it looks like it's going like this. A little optical illusion there, but it looks good. I think we're ready to go. Here's a pro tip from an amateur. So when you have this thing laying down working on it, it's important that you have some kind of cushioning underneath of it. The directions even suggest using the box that it came with and put it on that with some kind of cushioning. These are moving blankets. I got it from Harbor Freight when they used to give stuff away for free. If you bought something, or even if you didn't, it was pretty good. But you got to be very careful when you're screwing down that you don't push down on it, because you could, the screen on the other side, they're pretty flimsy actually. And don't ask me how that I know this, but it could mess up the screen. So just a little tip to be careful, very careful when you're doing that. And while we're looking at it, these straps, this is how you disengage it when it's hanging and you want to take it off. You pull this down, and you almost have to be a magician to do this, because you have to pull both of them a lot of times at the same time. But you can pull this one down, maybe pull it out a little bit, and then anyway, that's how you get it off of there. So next step, mounting. All right, here's what we all been waiting for. So let me see if I can mount this by myself. It's a little awkward, so let's see how it goes. What's the worst thing that can happen? All right, this is what we all been waiting for. Okay, it's hanging on there. Let me check the other side. Yeah. Okay, put the locking mechanism down a little bit. And like I was saying before, you can move it, slide it back and forth to where you want it. Double check this side that it's locked in. Yeah, it is. These things are kind of neat. Some of the older ones would just hang down. This is magnetic, so you can just stick it up there and it's easy to get to. So there you go. It's pretty good. I'll do some fine adjustments to make sure it's exactly where I want it. We're renting here, so I'm not going to go with hiding the wires behind the wall. I have some HDMI cables I want to use and the power cable. So what I normally do is have the power cable come over, HDMI cables, and I'll just probably I don't know, bundle them together a little bit, the best I can, to make it the best I can without going overboard. But there you go. That's what it looks like. So let me do one last thing and I'll show you with it on. I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video about different toggle bolts and different things that you can use in drywall. These things are fantastic. They hold up to 80 pounds, it says. These are the 1/4 inch ones. They have ones that are bigger than this, but I found this has done everything that I needed to do. Then these are also pretty good too, where it actually has its own screw to it. It says it can hold 65 pounds drywall anchors. These aren't cheap, but I'm telling you, they do a great job. So you drill the hole, you stick this in the hole in the drywall, that comes open, and then this thing right here slides down, and you pull on it and it tightens it, and then you back and forth and you break this part of it off, and then the screw goes right into it. So it comes with the screws and everything. So these are fantastic. So I just wanted to show you, here we are. This is the finished product. Like I said, the wires, that really bothers me, but as I don't want to put holes in the wall because I'll have to fix those later. They do have wire molding in the Heights wires. I used that before, and then when I went to pull it off, it ripped so much drywall. Apparently that stuck really well, so learned my lesson on that. But this is now going to do exactly what I wanted to do. I'll be able to pull up my music down here on the transformer stereo thing, and be able to see what I'm playing and what's next and all that. So I'm very pleased with this. And I'm also able to sit back at my desk, which is a mess now from working here, but sit at my desk and also see what music's playing. Again, what they say is do not put it into drywall only. I have done that. Again, I'm an amateur and I take all risk for that, but on my own. But I was able to find studs to mount it, and that thing is in there. It's not going anywhere. So it was a very easy job. I know a lot of places, they want anywhere $200 to $300 to do something simple like this. I mean, it's not the greatest install, but I think it will do what I needed to do. So thanks for watching and subscribe. See you next time.